Hi, this is Alan McFarland here. You can't see my top part. I'm focusing my camera on my dulcimer. We have a little bit more time right now. We can kind of go back over some of the fine points on the Arran boat song that might help you be able to play it reasonably well. So, as I mentioned, if you've got the music in front of you, which I hope you do, I'm going to get my glasses. So, okay, so the tune is in E minor, okay, and we can tell that because there's one sharp in the key signature next to the treble clef, and then if you look, you can see that it starts on an E minor and it ends on an E minor, so that's a pretty good indication that really the tune is in E minor. The other thing to notice is that in the first part, so that'd be part A, before you get to the repeat on this in the middle of the second line, there's two phrases to the tune, to that part of the tune. And the interesting thing about those phrases is that they're pretty much identical, except for the end. Actually, they really are kind of identical for the most part. So anyway, you can keep that in mind, and that'll help you when you start to memorize the tune. It also helps in learning how to play it because the fingerings are pretty much the same. In the second part of the tune, so there's a repeated phrase in that second part of the tune, which is right in here, starting right here. So there's a repeated phrase that you'll see showing up in several different places. Okay, there's a repeated section in there. So there's some repeats in that second part that will also help you. So once you get it mastered in one part of the tune, you can easily do it for the other part. And when we were talking about whether you need to use all of your fingers on these chords, you don't necessarily need to. Okay, so keep in mind that the bass note on your dulcimer, the bass string, is tuned to E. Okay, so what that means basically is that if you don't have either the finger strength, or if you're just brand new to the dulcimer, or if you have other kinds of issues, oftentimes what you can do is you can get by with playing two of the three strings. And my choice would be, if I was in that situation, I would be playing the middle string and the melody string, and not worry about the bass particularly. Keep in mind also that, remember, this is a Scottish tune. So if you remember much about Scottish music, they love the drone. So actually you could get by with just literally playing the melody on the melody string itself and not worry about the chords particularly. There's a couple of places where you actually have to play the middle string, so that would be like, for example, right here at the end of measure 8. I'm sorry, try that again. At the end of measure 3, you have to go to the 3rd fret on the middle string in order to get that D, that low D for the tune. So you could do that. But other than that, really, the rest of it is pretty much, as long as you play the melodies on the melody string, you're in good shape. So it would work very well that way. Okay, so let's go into the tune a little bit. Again, we'll work on that first part. I'm going to play the first part of the tune a few times, just to give you some practice, and then we'll move on to the second part of the tune, the B part, and do pretty much the same thing. So this is the tune. This is the first part of the tune. Actually, let me play the whole tune for you. So we're tuned in D-A-D, and we have a capo placed at the 1st fret. If it turns out you don't have a capo, that's not a big deal. Just get a pencil, put it across the first fret and get a rubber band and wrap that rubber band around the bottom of the dulcimer and on the ends of the pencil, and that'll secure it, and that can act as your capo. So if you don't have a capo, it's not a big deal. Okay, so here we go. That's the tune. I didn't play it exactly the way it's written, but that's okay. We'll catch up with that here in a minute. So here's the first part played slowly, so you can kind of follow along and you can play along. Some helpful hints here. So when you get to that 2, 3, 4 in measure 3 at the beginning, so use your, if you can, use your middle, index, and then your thumb to play that chord. Now, the next two notes, you have an F sharp and a D. So the F sharp is at the 2 on the melody string. So you can take your ring finger now, and you can put your ring finger down there. So it's there's the F sharp. And then if you need, when you play the D, that would be with the middle string, or on the middle string rather, with your index finger at the 3rd fret. So it'd be, okay, and that'll take care of that. So let's and you can also do something similar to that. For that 432 rather, I'm sorry, that shows up in the 7th fret at the 7th measure in the tune. So that would be, so here's that. So I'm using my index, my middle, and my ring again. Now here I have a choice. So if you know how to do a pull off, you can do a pull off to get to that open melody string. Or you can simply lift up your ring finger and play it with your pick, either one. And then the middle string, you're going to play at the 3rd fret. Okay, and then you're going to complete that section by just moving your middle finger from the middle string to the bass string. Lift up your index finger, and then just play that chord at the very end of A. Okay, so it's going to look like just like that. Okay, all right. So here's the first part of the tune, part A. I'll play that a couple times. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Repeat. play it again. So that's the first part of the tune. The second part starts up at the 8th fret. So you're going to bar the 8th, all three strings at the 8th fret if you can. If you can't, you could do 2 out of the 3 strings. It would be the same. It will sound the same. See, like this. So here it is with all 3. There it is with just 2 out of the 3. If you are really a beginner and you really want to not have to worry about doing all that barring, you can actually just play the melody string and get away with it. Be the same thing. Okay. So let's try that second part. We only play it once. Try that again. Sorry about that. One more time from the beginning here, from the beginning of B. Try that again. Playing it nice and slow. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Again. So let's try the whole tune, and then I'll show you some ways that you can add a little bit of variety to the tune. that might make it more interesting to your audience and to you as well. Here we go. Okay, so ways that you can make this a little bit more interesting, aside from picking up the pace a little bit. You can, some of the chords you can play inverted. Now that changes the music slightly, but it doesn't change the sense of the tune. So for example, in that first line of music, you have a 2-3-4, you could play that as a 4-3-2. Farther along, again we have a 4-3-2 here at the 7th measure of the tune. You could play that as a 2-3-4, same idea. In the second part of the tune, you can do kind of the same thing with the 2-3-4s, with the D chords basically, and not change the sense of the tune at all. One thing that's kind of fun to do is, okay, so down in measure 16 we have a C chord that we're playing, 6-6-8. You can turn that into an 8-6-6, and that really does kind of perk up an interest, I think. I like doing that a lot when I play this tune. So we'll play that one. So let's see how that sounds. Okay, so just to give you an idea of how things go. Alright, and sometimes you can swap these things around, so this really is kind of fun. One more thing you can do is you can use cross-picking patterns. Remember, this is a boat song. Okay, so the rocking motion of the boat, simulating, you could simulate that with the way that you pick the individual chords. That kind of adds a little bit of interest. You can also use that kind of rocking motion as kind of an intro to the piece. And it might sound a little like this. Just adding a little bit of interest with your picking pattern can go a long way to sort of making the tune more interesting to play and more interesting to listen to. So, we'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. If you might send them by email, that would be great. You can send them to Macfarlane, spelled MacFarlanepa162@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to help you out as much as I can. So I'm happy that you joined us for our winter retreat that we had. It was great. I enjoyed meeting some of you for the first time. Some of you I've seen before, but quite a number of you I haven't. So safe travels, and hope to see you again at some point. Have a great afternoon, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.